后来还有到 external 那种问题。还会觉得甚至那个要升级了，可能觉得标准。
But that's when when you guys went from I think that's like
现在是要一直学。现在加回一个麦，有我在上面。
Good morning. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be starting this event shortly. Okay, good morning, everyone. Can I have your attention?
morning.
Okay, good morning. I'm Eva. So today, right now, we will be starting the pitching session already. So let's welcome our judges, Mr. Dash, Mr. Max, Mr. Andre, and Mr. Sharizan. So I'll be briefly telling you about all the judges. So with us today is Mr. Dash, who is the founder and director of startupmalaysia.org, which existence is to help entrepreneurs succeed globally. Their role is to foster the entrepreneur skills in individuals to enable them to build their career, contribute to society, and lead a fulfilling life. So next up, we have Mr. Max, who is an associate at 1337 Ventures, who funds aspiring and new existing startups in the app development space. 1337 Ventures focuses on scaling companies from ideas to being valued as multi-billion-dollar company in less than 10 months. Its core business activities: idea generation, idea validation, accelerator, and growth stage investment. So the next judge we have here is Mr. Andre Sakira, the managing partner of Scale Up Malaysia, which is an accelerator for Malaysian companies looking to scale and grow. Scale Up Malaysia is an experienced team of entrepreneurs, professionals, and investors who collectively have founded 9 companies, exited 7 companies, and coached a total of more than 1,000 startups and scale-ups. And for the final judge, we have Mr. Sharizan, the head of Watchtower and Friends, or you can know it as WTF, which is the next company who identifies emerging entrepreneurs and interesting startups and rapidly turns them into startups and companies that find the necessary revenue model and funding. So before we begin, we would like to express our deepest appreciation towards our judges for spending their weekend with us. Okay, so before that, we'll go through some house rules. So each team will be given 5 minutes to present their startup idea. And then there will be 2 minutes allocated for the Q&A session. After that, there will be a card being flashed by the timekeeper when the presenters are left with only 2 minutes. The presenters must stop immediately when the timer rings, while another card will be flashed by the timekeeper. So when you have presented like until the last 2 minutes, there will be someone who is flashing a card to you, and the 30 seconds another person will be flashing another card to you. So presenters are allowed to use wireless microphone or without using any microphone. All audiences must be silent at all the time. We are aware that you have a lot of things to talk about, to prepare, but please respect the presenters at the front as well, okay? So the presenters must be polite and professional during the pitching and answering question session. Okay, so I'll be briefly talking about how to use this clicker. So there will be 3 buttons over here. The first button is to point. Okay, so the second button in the middle, the big button, is to go to the next slide or the next thing you have on your slide. And the last button over here is for you to go back in the previous action of your slide. Okay? Okay, so now we will start off with the first group. The first group will be presenting their ideas, will be group 6. Hello. Good morning, everyone. Good morning to the judges. So my name is Shireen, and
my name is Alvin.
so we are from Group 6, and the topic for our product is mobile tech. So before we introduce you our product, let me ask you a question. Have you ever tried online shopping? Have you ever bought clothes online? Yes? No? Yes, right? Have you ever encountered the issue of getting the wrong measurements, or the picture looks completely different from what you get? Yes, right? So, yeah, for example, this one. Different measurements and different from what it looks like in the picture. So let me introduce you our product, which is VFR, Virtual Fitting Room. So our technology is a mobile technology. So what is VFR? VFR is a technology we use a function that works with existing online retail application. So what it does is it's a technology you can implement inside an app, and you can use your phone to scan the body. And the function allows you to create an avatar of yourself inside the app, so you can shop. You can try on different clothes with your own face instead of the model. And you can try different sizes and different colors, so you can have more accuracy. So why VFR? Why do we want people to buy this technology? First of all, this allows the company to get the data of the customers, because if the customers use that app, we can collect data of their actual body measurements. So in this technology era, data is very important, data is key. So if you have the data of the customers, you are able to have if you are able to produce according to the customer's needs, right? And we can earn profit through reducing costs. You can reduce over-reproduction and under-production. So you can also produce clothes according to the customer's size. So basically, earning profit.
So how do we know whether this idea is feasible? So we did a short survey in the span of less than a day. So we did a short Google Doc and we got roughly 54 responses. So we asked them, how likely would you use an app that will be scanning your measurements, so that when you buy online, the measurements is more accurate rather than the standard measurement that you are given. So instead of the usual S size, M size, the measurements that you have will be more accurate to your own body size. So these are the responses that we received, that a majority of them voted that they will be more likely to use this app once it is available. The next survey that we conducted was to handle our second problem, where you do not know how you look like, or as the model is not you, as they're usually using models who are very nice looking, slim and slender and whatnot. So by digitizing your image, you'll be able to know how the clothes look on you, on your exact body type and body shape. So these are the ideal collaborators that we're targeting. The major retail one will obviously be Zalora, as a lot of the retail shops are on their website. And a few examples are H&M as well, Uniqlo, and for high brands, there is a website of Farfetch. So Farfetch is usually for more luxury goods. So we'll be targeting for normal consumers and those who are able to spend more on this clothing. So how do we plan to do this? Is we managed to do some research where for IKEA they have already a system where they're able to have measurements of inanimate objects. So like this sofa, they're able to get the dimensions so that they can impose on it. Then as on the bottom right where you see the YouTube, is actually a tutorial on how to use Archetype, which is a body scanner. However, the issue with this body scanner is that it is highly expensive, so it is not usable for the common user. So what we plan to do is that we plan to combine Archetype with our function in a mobile app so that it will be more user-friendly and user-accessible. And our main target are people who like shopping. Does anyone have any questions?
Hi, really quickly, right? So to create a VR, I need to take measurements of my body to the
Yes.
out there, right?
Yeah.
So how does that solve the measurement issue? I understand how it solves how it looks on your body issue. How does it solve the measurement issue? Because like you have to measure your body first, and that's what we do normally when we shop online. And also number two is your body changes, right?
Okay, so we were unable to do due to time constraint, but there's an app called Sizer, where they will ask you to take a picture of you around 2 meters, and from then they'll use image processing to have a rough approximate of your sizes. So they have chest, legs and thighs. So but the issue with that is that it is not as accurate due to the reviews that we see on the App Store. So what we're trying to do is improve on that technology by combining with a version of scanners. So scanners are the ones that's able to give a very accurate measurement, but currently it is still quite expensive. So what we plan to do is that we will incorporate it into mobile apps so that you'll be able to make it more accurate.
Okay. Another challenge. Okay, I think the basic idea of it is okay, but the challenge might be getting enough data in there to attract either side of that market. Because you need, in order for you to generate interest of people putting up the body shapes on the app, you need a sizable data of clothes sizes that they can try on, right? So being a small startup, right, how do you tackle that challenge? Because this is kind of a general, very common chicken and egg problem where in order for you to attract one side, you need to attract the other side first, right? So how do you break that challenge?
Actually, we're planning to sell this because we plan to work in tandem with the existing mobile apps. Like Zalora now has a mobile app. We plan to sell this function so that we'll be using their data. So all the sizes will be on Zalora side. Thank you.
Okay, so that sums up the first group. Judges, do you have any comments?
Yeah, I actually categorize
I'm not sure exactly. You said people will buy this. Who is exactly? I was not sure what your business model was.
We're targeting clothing brands like, for example, H&M, Zara, they have their own app.
So it's a B2B. You're selling the solution to a business. The other comment I just had is that I'm not sure you've done you should do more in that research into the aspect of body scanning, because from a technological perspective, the reason why it's not done already is because of the limitations on the mobile phone and the sizing of the scanners and stuff like that. So it's not a trivial problem, actually. So while the idea is great, the technology, the challenges are quite high.
And my comment is I do not know how much time you spent on understanding the problem, really. You know what I mean? Most of the time, when I go for these kind of pitches, people come up with a solution very quickly, but I don't know how much in-depth understanding you have of the problem. Have you spoken to any of the retailers, Zalora or all the shops you told about? Why can't they do it themselves?
Currently, the scanners pricing is very expensive, so it is not really feasible.
Okay.
So that was what we can do.
Thank you. So for the second group who will be presenting would be group 4.
God listen me, right?
First of all, I would like to thank all the judges for their time. Thank you so much. Now, I have a very important question, which is how many of you have purchased online courses? How many purchased online courses? And gone through different ones? Great, I see good number here. But the question is, how many of these online courses that you use, the content, how many percentage? 40, 50, 60? Not that much. This is a fact. That you buy a full thing. This is a very big challenge that we are currently facing. Now, what you can do is customize your products, customize your purchase. The content that you want is, I need only this specific chapters. I don't care about the rest. I need this. This is a solution. However, this solution is not enough because it depends on my feeling. It depends on its subjective lack of accuracy. It's not accurate that much. So to help this and be more accurate is that you take an assessment. And through that assessment, it will decide that you need this, you need that. And lastly, and which is a very important thing, that even though you go through the course once, twice, 3 times, still sometimes you need some issues you face, and you have some questions, and you need some technical support, you need support in that. So solving that lack of support is followed up with a online live tutoring. And why specifically online live tutoring is because now in the current situation that we are facing in Malaysia and globally with the coronavirus, that you cannot go and face to face. So how are you going to have a support? That big issue. So finally, we introduce to you COTS, course on the spot. Now the question is, does the market need it? And how can we generate money from that?
So, moving on. So, does the market need it? So, according to a survey we made, it showed that 80% of people, more than 80% of people now are more focused on focused learning. We don't want to take a whole course online because sometimes we know parts of it. We just want to take certain parts. So, those are some feedbacks we got about full-on learning. And the business model basically shows that we're going to create an assessment, and based on this assessment, we're going to give you an overview. This assessment is in a course, for example, mathematics course. This assessment will show you have area of weakness in 3 parts out of the 10 parts in the course. So then you can either subscribe for them in the course part, or if you still need further enhancement, you can take a live tutoring model where tutors can actually teach you lively on the spot. Moving on to our future development. So currently we're going to start by targeting 2 or 3 universities here in the KL region, okay? And afterwards we're going to try to expand, moving on to other cities such as JB, Penang, and others. And then for us to be able to expand more, we're going to create a mobile application to enable us to expand internationally, targeting all the international students. Why us? Basically, it's the reward system. The reward system basically gives a reward for both the student and the tutor that are going to be using our course, or our platform generally, okay? So the reward system gives students, for example, if I buy 5 classes, I can get extra classes for free. And if I don't want those extra classes, basically we're going to provide either, for example, cinema tickets, discount coupons, and others. Whatever you want, like as a reward, we're going to provide it. And also for the tutors, why would they get attracted to work with us? Basically, we're going to be charging low commission rate. That's our biggest advantage. So our competitors are actually a couple of companies here. Why us? Simple. We are customizable and also cheap. Thank you all so much for that.
Save time, money, and your life. Thank you. Now Q&A.
Just really quickly, what's the solution again?
Yeah.
I think we don't really understand.
Customized. Basically, there are 2 solutions.
Is it video? Is it
Both live and online courses. Customized online courses. So basically, according to the content that you're going to be provided, there is going to be
So let's say if I want to study biology,
Mhm.
let's say I want to study coronavirus.
Uh-huh.
So how do you give me a course on that?
How can I give you a course on that? First of all, there's a full package. We have all the information, the content. The second option is that you're going to go through an assessment, and then through that you're going to only be provided with the only things that you don't know about.
So what would the assessment say?
Yeah, how you
So the assessment will assess my ability.
yeah, your skill, what your knowledge is, and accordingly we're going to provide you this. So instead of paying the full package, which you don't need, you're going to only pay only this. So in other words, it's personalized content for you.
Okay, I think good presentation, the way you actually presented and all that, I think really good. You put a list of competitors up there. So I suppose the big question would be how are you going to compete with them? What's to stop Udemy or Khan Academy from taking your idea, which is basically topic based, and chunking their own courses into smaller bits and then doing the same thing that you are doing?
I agree with you. It's easy for them to do it. The only difference is that, yes, we have some real expertise in a few areas. I'm personally as a CS developer and as well as a coach, I can judge even for the content that's going to be provided. YouTube is free for everyone. So for this one is like whoever can post a video. For us, it's going to be, since they are hired and under us, we can still content that and we can give feedback on that. Shall I continue?
More questions, please?
Thank you, Group 4. So for the third presenter, we will have Group 7.
on the topic area on health. And our startup company is called YABI. According to the statistic, based on the statement from our previous health ministers, in every 3 out of 10 aged 18 years old and above are likely to suffer from diabetes by 2025. If this statistic is not alarming, there's another one for you. According to a research paper, in every 3 out of 10 individuals in Malaysia is suffering from overweight, and in every 2 out of 10 is suffering from obesity in Malaysia, which could be traced back to the lifestyle adopted. The purpose of highlighting this is to highlight that we are on the verge of entering a health crisis in Malaysia, which could be traced back to the lifestyle adopted, and we are unconscious of the food that we take and how it affects our health. Even we are aware of our health conditions. For example, we are aware that we are having high cholesterol, diabetes, obesity, overweight. We find it difficult to conform to our dietary requirements due to our busy schedules, and we have lack of accessibility to our food requirements. We have lack of accessibility to finding the needs, the accessibility to it. Our vision is to enrich lives through transforming a healthy diet as a lifestyle. We have conducted a survey with a total of 86 respondents with an age demographic from 18 years old and below, 18 to 25, 26 to 35, 35 to 45, and 45 years and above. And from our research, from our survey shows that the respondents are highly aware of their health conditions. For example, they know that they are having high cholesterol, or they are diabetic, or they are having health issues, or even they are healthy. And then the nutritional information has shown to be very important to the respondents. One of the key findings is that the respondents are willing to pay extra for the meal, but the problem is that they find it difficult to have the accessibility to the meal that could meet their dietary requirements. Our solutions compose of 3 main elements. First, we intend to deliver personalized meals to conform with your dietary requirement. Second, we could provide nutritional information in collaborations with nutritionists and dietitians. Last but not least, we provide the delivery services to your doorsteps. With this, I pass to Kevin.
Hello. Right. In order for our proposed business to achieve our goals, we'll need a sound business plan. We need a sound business model. So we intend to integrate an app as well as a website into our business model. And as you can see, we have a prototype envisioning what our app will be. First of all, we'll start with profiling our customer. We will ask them to fill in simple information in order for us to better understand what they truly need. And then with the information at hand, we'll pass through an algorithm that is created in conjunction with health experts, dietitians, nutritionists. And this algorithm will provide information on what the user, the consumer actually needs, what is their own dietary requirement. And with that information at hand, the user, the consumer can choose to customize their own meal to meet their own dietary requirement, or choose from one of our panel of finely crafted dishes, or even subscribe to one of our multi-day meal plan to achieve their long-term dietary goal. So these 3 elements is our primary revenue source for our marketing, for our business model. We will also offer a newsletter service to provide information to the user for them to make better judgment on better selection, better decision to improve their health, to improve their lifestyle. And this business model will put us approximately over there on the competition matrix. And taking Damakan for an example, they are very popular, but they do not offer the amount of flexibility in terms of customizing their meal as us, and they do not provide information on what the user truly needs, the user dietary requirement. And when comparing that to lean lifestyle, which bolster a similar concept as us, but they are based in the US. Their dishes is not localized to our own flavor. We have also developed a growth phase for our startup, which will include the eventual incorporation of direct healthcare consultation between the user and healthcare experts. And with that, in conclusion, I would say that our business model delivers our solution effectively to our users' problem, and it is in line with our intention to redefine the way we eat. Yes.
One quick question.
Yeah.
Are you guys pre-order or on demand?
You need to pre-order 24 hours before the meal.
Okay. I think the challenge should be getting that level of customization and consideration, even with the healthcare professional, and making it reasonably affordable for people to buy your food, right?
Yes.
And then being a pre-order. Okay, the problem with pre-order meals sometimes is that you have to have a target market which is stationary, because if not, then they can't pre-order the meal. That's why on-demand meals tend to fare better than pre-order, right? So how do you tackle that particular challenge? If you want to scale this up, right?
I would say that during our first phase from our growth strategy, we would start up from we would focus our market in the densely populated office areas where we actually target nearby. Our kitchens will be located nearby to densely populated areas such as corporate office, and from there we could actually take up a bulk order of volumes of orders, and then they could order it in advance and we could deliver it to them. We could start up from few densely populated areas in the beginning and roll out in expanding our business in the second phase.
And to take your question home, so you're targeting you are correct that we need an immobile customer base, right? So we are basically targeting people who is already health aware. They want to eat healthy. But they need to prepare it themselves. We take away the hassle from them. They already knew that in order for them to eat healthy, they need to prepare their meal in advance, this and that. They already knew what they need to eat. We just solve the problem for them. You do need to prepare it. We will do it for you.
Just want to comment. Very well thought out. I think you guys presented a big problem, which is great, and have a thought of a solution. I can see you've done a bit more thinking about how you're actually going to launch into this. So I think it's good. I suppose the challenges are similar. It's just that down the line you're going to have to figure out what you can deliver in terms of cost effectiveness, and also if people, how do people don't order by your app, but they need to cook at home. If they want to do that, how is that going to work out? Because in some cases you will not always order food from outside, right? And you want to do things at home. So how do you maintain the nutrition standard that you want to give to the person on an ongoing basis if they're doing it offline from your app, for example?
So in our app, with the algorithm that we have, they actually can key in their details and they get a recommended dosage of what kind of nutrition they need. Instead of just figuring themselves doing this and that, we have an app for them.
Correct. But if I'm cooking myself, I wouldn't be able to key in every single ingredient and then know exactly what are whether I'm fulfilling my own dietary requirements. Right?
Yes, it's correct. I would say that based on the reference guidance, the recommended information from the apps, you could actually do it on your own, but you would take more time to do it because you have to weigh all the ingredients yourself. So based on the quantity that you weigh yourself, you already know the information.
Good presentation.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Group 7. So for the fourth presenter, we have Group 5.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Emily, and on behalf of Group 5, I would like to present our business idea that could possibly revolutionize the fashion industry. Presenting Mirror Mirror. Okay, so before we go into what our idea is about, let us understand that in this era, we prioritize speed, quality, and accuracy, which the fashion industry has yet to fulfill. Just think of all the time you spend in fitting rooms, in boutiques, trying on clothes, finding the correct size, and deciding the best combinations, which piece goes to which piece. Okay, let me give you a little bit of statistics. The average female spends 8.5 years in a lifetime on shopping. 8.5 years. I'm sure a lot of you can relate to that, even though if you're not a female, there's definitely females in your life that, are like that. In fact, there are even studies, there are even results showing that males spend more time than females shopping because they don't necessarily know what they want to buy. On a smaller scale, we also conducted surveys based on our local community, and it shows that people do spend a lot of time on not only on shopping but also on choosing what they want to wear in general.
Hi, I'm Henry. So are we continuing? So here's what we have in mind: a mirror. Imagine a big piece of mirror. But what's so special about this mirror is it's a piece of mirror with augmented reality that projects and the pieces you want, okay, without actually trying it on. So that saves a lot of time because when you want to try it on, it takes time, okay. So furthermore, it gives you ideas, okay, because some people are indecisive what to wear, okay. So perhaps based on your mood, occasion, maybe even cultural standards. So this is where it separates us from our competitors. You may not notice, but many actually don't have good knowledge of fashion. So with the suggestion, okay, I'm sorry, with the suggestion from the data collected, we have like the trends, color combinations, the contrast, your body type, your skin type, okay? With that, etc., there's so much to it. It's a whole new study, okay? We don't have time for that. We don't have time. It's not our utmost priority to give them so much time, okay? So I'll leave a little room for you to imagine just how impactful this is about the suggestion, about the ideas, okay? Also through suggestion, selling brands, which is our main target during our phase 1, okay? Aside from it being just an exclusive experience to the customer, the selling brands are able to so easily upsell their products. One simple gesture, the customer, they look good, they feel good, they pay. Okay? So that's not the end. What I vision is more than that. Once we have the capital for R&D, we are pushing it to sell it to individuals. Imagine a wardrobe, a multi room to buy from anywhere, any brand. Okay? So the potential in saving time from jams, going back and forth from shopping malls, choosing. I just can't stress more how time consuming shopping is. Okay, even for online shopping, it's time consuming. So we're confident that with a good startup capital,
okay, so this smart mirror is okay. It's not absolutely clear exactly. Is this a mirror or is it a screen, or you mentioned augmented reality, so that's one. And two, why would a fashion brand buy you if they had a flagship store and you walked into it and you could just try on clothes, for example?
Okay, so first of all, the first part of the question, it appears to be a mirror, but actually a screen. Okay, so what it does is it's like a camera taking your picture, but then what it does is with augmented reality, it projects, integrate with the fashion brands, the product they have onto you. So you get a picture of yourself wearing it without actually wearing it. Okay? So second part, why flagship stores want to have us? It's almost like an exclusive experience. You don't get it anywhere. We pay for experience, right, nowadays. Okay? So also it saves time. You don't have to go into the fitting room, put it on, and it doesn't match the size. You have to get another piece of it. And then, or maybe it doesn't match your style. So you have to look for another piece. So what you can do, you can just pick, look in the mirror, you see what you want.
Customers would tend to be more willing to visit these stores that have the mirrors, not only for the experience but also for like other factors like time consuming and the suggestions, personalization aspects as well.
So I see that useful, especially when you're doing online shopping. That's what we're looking for. Time. We want it to be fast, we want it to be simple. But I think for people who walk into a store, it's not just about being fast, it's also how it feels on your body, right? I think that's a very important factor.
Yes. However, like even if you try on, even if you know what piece of clothing you want, you still have to probably have to try on different sizes. So if you want to feel what it feels like on you, you could try on for the first time, and then if you want to change to a different size, then you can use this technology, so you can save time, like instead of keep trying it on and off.
Let me add on to that. So most fashion manufacturers, they have like certain fabric for all the pieces, all the design. So actually you can just try one for the feel, the physical feel of it. Then the rest of the design, you can just walk onto a mirror, see how it looks.
So what if I've already walked into a flagship store, spending money and time to go into a flagship store? I'm already going to spend the time. Why do I waste my time looking at the mirror? I should be trying it on.
We're just trying to live life more efficient.
Because like if you are going to visit other stores as well, the whole process of the shopping takes really a lot of time. It's not just about you going into one store and finding one piece of clothing.
Can I just make one comment? The idea has merit. I think the idea has merit, but it shouldn't be a flagship store. It should be an e-commerce site where you deliver the technology so that if I have this in my house, I just click on the shirt and I can see what my being look like in front of a big screen. So it has merit, but it's just I think you're just wrong, targeting the wrong customer.
I think the key there is that we have to find a situation where people need this product as opposed to just something that's good to have around.
Yeah.
So being in a flagship store, it would be just something that is good to have around. But if you do this for the e-commerce consumers, then it will be a necessity, right?
Is it fine if I add on to that? So during our phase 2, we mentioned we're pushing it to selling to individuals. So the mirror itself is in your room. So you do the online shopping, you sync it to the mirror, you see it on yourself.
Then your phase 2 should be your phase 1.
Because actually we thought that doing B2B for phase 1 would attract more profit first.
No,
and then
what we're saying is there's no market there, so don't do that.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you, Group 5. So we have 2 more groups left. The second last group would be Group 3.
very good morning to the panels and my fellow friends. We are from Group 3, and we are going to solve a problem when it comes to traveling. So, how many of you have a problem when you have an overfilled luggage and an overweight baggage when you're trying to travel? We have that all the time. And also, like if you have a business conference that you have to travel from your home to the airport immediately, you don't have time to pack your bag. And this is all because of the blazers and coats that are so thick to fill up your baggage. So there are millions of travelers worldwide that actually have something called packing panic, where they can't actually pack their stuff last minute when they're going for a holiday. And you're actually not alone. There are actually more than 12 million people in Malaysia alone in 2016 that are going for an outbound trip. So we actually introduce you a solution. It's called Flashwear, where this is your grab and go travel apparel for your own business trip.
Okay, so now I would like to present to you how Flashwear solves the problem. Okay, so our product used a brand new invented technology called the double duty textile on the inner and outer of our product. Our main products would be coats and blazer, and I bet all of you have heard about heat tech, but have you ever heard about cold tech? So our main, the double duty textile, as what it names called, it actually serves two purposes, which integrates both cooling and heating technology on the same apparel that you are wearing, which means that you don't have to change that frequently when you are traveling in cold or hot countries. And our main products would be coats and blazer, which are suitable for temperatures ranging between 10 degrees Celsius to 40 degrees Celsius. And I think that most of you will be wondering about how is this a miracle to integrate both heating technology and cooling technology in the same apparel that you're wearing. Well, the theory behind this is very simple. The two key components of our fabric is the carbon sheet and the copper layer. Carbon sheet will feature the cooling technology, while the copper layer will feature the heating technology. So for our market segment, we would, in the initial stage of our business, we would like to target on business person who need to travel to business conference very frequently, but only in short-term period. And their age group, we would like to target from 30 age to 50 age people with a higher income segment. And they often fill their carry-on bags with a lot of coats because they need to travel to, sometimes you might not know that you need to travel to winter country or hot country. So with Flashwear, you can just use it once and you don't have to bring too much of clothes during your travel. And in the later stage of our business, we would like to expand our market segment to families, which we will revolutionize the number of jackets needed to bring for your kids. And the biggest selling points for our product is it's light and thin for our coats and blazer, and it's completely hassle-free, which means that you can just grab and go without as frequent as you need it. And we also features personalization, which we will customize blazer based on your body size and with a large variety ranging from short sleeve to short sleeve, from short sleeve to long sleeve, and casual to formal wear. So in simple terms, Flashwear is the best thing you can have in both hot weather and winter and cold environments when you are traveling around.
Alright, so since our main components for the blazers and jacket are carbon fiber and carbon sheets, we will outsource them from local companies and manufacture them ourselves because of how niche this technology is, hence the high cost of operation. So assuming we sold out 3,000 initial production of shirts, we will earn a rough estimation of 397,000, which means 132 ringgit profit per shirt sold.
So there is two ways of market validation. One is market survey. So we did a Google's firm survey, and most of the respondents are wearing coat and blazer when traveling. So more than 80% of the respondents are willing to pay for our Flashwear. And one of the market validation is customer validation. So this One Ringgit campaign is inspired by Y.E.S company, and before launching, so we opened our pre-order which costs 100 per unit to 3,000 per consumer to validate market demand. So this is our
Okay, quick question. Why would I need a coat during hot weather? I just take off my existing coat, right?
Okay, sorry, I think I didn't
missed something.
Okay, I'll explain again. So for the blazer and coat that we are selling, actually will features two technology, right? One is heating technology and another is cooling technology. So, for example, one of the mentor told us that when she traveled to a certain country, like for example New Zealand, in the central part of New Zealand it's rather hot, and it's rather cold, and in the southern part it's rather hot. So when you are traveling like from central New Zealand to the south part of New Zealand, she needs to bring a lot of clothes, like a very thick coat, and sometimes just a very thin piece of coat as well, a blazer. So our product is actually like when you're feeling cold, you just show one of the layer outside, and then if you are feeling the other way around, you just switch it, like you change it the other way around, and it will the technology behind this is like this. For the carbon sheet, it actually helps you to release the heat faster. So when the carbon sheet is shown outside, it releases the heat from your body fast enough and makes you cool cool down. Okay. If you feel a little bit cold and you want to, you will change the coat and you face the carbon layer outside, and it will help you to trap the heat inside your body, so it makes you feel warmer.
So the problem you are trying to solve is to expedite packing, right?
Yeah.
So why do you bother with all this code and all that, and try to say the problem I'm trying to solve is this, and come up with another different solution for trading, instead of this coming up with code that solves this and that.
So the packing panic is actually referring to business persons when they are on the rush. They do not have time to pack too many coats and blazers into their baggage. Especially when you're traveling from a hot country to a cold country, you have to take off your jacket, and then you have to wear it, and then you have to take it out from the luggage and all. But then with this technology, you just have to bring one coat and one blazer at a time to a single country. You need not bring two to three different apparels, a very thick one into your baggage, and it wastes up a lot of space. So these are some problems and struggles that we see from the business persons that are traveling.
I think what Dash means is, if it's cold, I'll put on my jacket. If it's not cold, I'll just take off my jacket. But what I want to ask is actually, has this been done before, or is this something that you're testing and requires more R&D? Okay, so for the double duty textile, it's actually invented by a team of students from the university. But they just invented the fabric, but they didn't use it in market testing. So they just invent and they publish the paper. So our intent is to use the technology that they have invented and help us to solve the problem that those business persons who have to travel that frequently, and we make it into a product. Just comment. I think what Dash was saying is, this is a great product, but you guys framed it the wrong way. The problem shouldn't be packing, it should just be, hey, you can't get it perfect clothing all the time, but this one fits you in every occasion. I think that's a different problem statement than the report. Thank you.
Thank you, Group 3. So for the final group, we have Group 1.
Hi, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Shariar, and this is my team. We are here today to talk about an idea and a movement. You see, we have 3 bottles in front of you, right? 1, 2, and 3. And which one do you think here is recyclable?
Oh.
None of them are recyclable, even though this bottle is unopened till now. You see, the problem here is education. In Malaysia, about 14% of only 14% of Malaysians actually recycle their materials. And another problem is the expectancy. You see, when you throw something in the recycle bin, you expect it to be recycled. But the actual problem is 80% of the materials in the recycle bin doesn't get recycled because of cross-contamination, which means 97.2% of the materials that could be recycled does not get recycled in Malaysia. And that is the thing that we want to fix. That is the thing we want to teach people how to do it properly. And that is why we introduce to you Rocco. Rocco is a very simple app. When you enter, you have 3 options. You have plastics, metals, and paper. You can choose which one you want to start with. And the idea is when you choose one, or all 3, or 2, you will be delivered with a bucket into your house. And we'll be provided with videos and educational programs to teach you how to separate your waste, and to teach you how to recycle properly, and to teach you what can be recycled and what can't. And I know most of us don't want to watch these videos, most of us don't have the time, but the idea is to motivate you through reward systems. You see, we will ask you to fill up these buckets, and once it's filled up, you will have an option within the app where you can ask for collection. Our representative from our company will come and collect the materials and inspect it. If it is not contaminated, you will receive reward points, and if it is, you will not receive reward points. The reward points, you can collect them to exchange for gift vouchers and discounts from our partners. Our partners are usually big companies who are looking for community outreach, who are trying to reduce their carbon footprint, who are trying to have a more positive and greener impact on the community, which is almost all big corporate companies. So, in that way, we will not have to put a significant costing when it comes to the money. Our initial release for beta testing will be released to a small group of influential voices within the recycling community and within the and people who are interested and very passionate about these things. And we will get their opinions to adapt the app to make sure that it is very efficient and it works properly. Once it is done, we will collaborate with micro-influencers throughout the spectrum to get the word out about the app and to engage with the communities. There will be leaderboards where you can see in your locality who is recycling properly and who's being more efficient and who can do it better. You can have celebrities can have their own leaderboards, and you can find out, you can join those, and the influencers can have their own leaderboards. You can join them and see who's doing better and who's doing it better. We want to gamify the whole thing so that every time you reach a certain goal of recycling, you get extra points so that you feel better. You'll have badges to show your friends and your family how you did better. Our main source of revenue will be selling the recycled materials to recycling companies, because our collected materials will be significantly more cleaner than most collections. Our main expense will be our representatives who go and collect from those houses, and they'll be well trained. Our goal is to create a more educated and efficient recycling culture. Our goal is to create a culture where recycling is less of a pain, more of a fun thing you do with your friends and family. It's a thing you do to engage with the culture around you. Thank you.
Okay, first of all, I've seen this pitch a few times before, and although I think it's a good idea, right? I haven't seen this implemented on a large scale before. So in your opinion, because you're looking into this, right? what is the main challenge in trying to get this deployed, and how do you overcome that?
You see, the main problem is every time we try to implement these kind of things, right? We do it by telling people, oh, the environment is dying, and or like if you don't do this, you're bad. It's more of a punishment thing. It's a social punishment. But our idea is to make it a reward for you to do it. You know, make it something, a fun thing, because nobody wants to do extra work. But if it is for something, for example, for if you get a gift voucher, or if you get compliments from your friends and family, you will be more into the idea of recycling.
How do you intend to make money? What's the business model behind it?
The business model is, because most of the gift vouchers will be provided by our business partners, so we don't have to front most of the cost. And most of the money that will be coming in is from selling the recycled materials to recycling companies. Because currently aluminum goes for about 4,500 ringgits per ton, and like paper will go for about 500 ringgits per ton, and for plastic bottles it's 10 cents per bottle. We're also planning to have sponsors on the buckets and like ads on the app itself.
Okay, it's basically a recycling company, right?
Yes.
So it's just that the spin is just that now you're gamifying the idea of recycling and trying to teach people to do it more.
Yes, but we're also not. We're more like a middleman because we're not investing in the recycling plants.
Also, because the problem with most people with recycling now is that they're lazy or they don't have a bin to recycle. Like me, okay, I come from Sabah, one of the poorest states in recycling. The reason we don't recycle is not that we were lazy, but that we don't have recycle bins everywhere. It's so rare to find a recycling bin there. But the solution with this company is it can give you your own bin. Basically, once you sign up for it, and the collection is done for you, and it's all the tedious process is done for you. So all you have to do is learn a few things about how to recycle properly and make it a clean bin for recycling.
Another issue is that you see a lot of recycling bins around, right? But the problem with those recycling bins is that apart from those people who are using the recycling bin for recycling, you have other people who throw in garbage in the recycling bin itself. So you can incentivize people to want to recycle, but how do you prevent other people from just throwing garbage into it?
Now you see, every person has their own personalized bucket. You see, it's not something a giant bucket outside. It's a small thing.
So you carry it around with you all the time?
No, you leave it it's in your home, basically.
Well, the home is not the problem, you see. Outside of home is the problem. I recycle at home. There's no problem with me doing that, right? I don't need people to incentivize me to recycle at home. I do it because of my consciousness of the environment, right? But I can't do it outside. If I travel, right, even if I can find a bin, usually it's not actually segregated. Because people throw in garbage. So how do you solve that problem?
That's why our goal is to educate the community. And the more people that are educated on how this thing works, they will be less inclined to throw things that don't belong there.
Thank you. Honestly, I would love to see one of you all succeed in doing this, because this is something I actually believe in, personally.
Thank you, Group 1. So now the judges are still writing the form. So after that, the committees will be calculating the total marks for each group. So while they are doing the calculation, can I have a hands of how many of you think you can enter the final round? Wow. Okay. How many of you think you can win the 900 ringgit? How about those who didn't raise their hands? 300? Okay. So while they are doing the calculation, can I have the judges to give a few comments, like generally comment on the first teaching session?
you want me to stand up or just talk from here?
You can come here if you want to.
The judges, the other younger judges asked me to talk because I think probably I have more white hair. I'd like to hear the rest of them. So some of you, I mean, it's great that you've taken the courage to come in front and speak and present your ideas and also thought through, I mean, put together the slides and all that. But one important thing that I would like to advise you all who are in university as well as to the university itself, it's very easy to think of solutions. A lot of the time when we look at startup ideas, it's solutions looking for problems. I would recommend very highly that you spend more time understanding the problem. That means, okay, let's take for example the last one about recycling. Why are people not recycling? Go and speak to people, speak to real people. I heard a lot of survey. I think the real understanding comes from talking to people. You know, so there is a study that says that before you come up with a solution, spend a lot of time understanding the problem. A startup is nothing but an experiment machine. It is about like a science lab, you know, you're testing the hypothesis. Your hypothesis can be wrong, and then you go back and test again. So don't think that you got to get it right. It's okay to get it wrong, because if the hypothesis fails, you think about a deeper problem. So I would recommend universities to teach them design thinking before you teach them how to build a venture. Okay, I have a simple philosophy, and the philosophy is everybody should be entrepreneurial, but not everybody should start companies. So learn to be entrepreneurial. I can go on talking about this part because this is very passionate to me about university. So I cannot point to a startup and say, oh, I helped this startup. I'm not an accelerator like 1337 or Scale Up or whatever. I work with young people earlier stages, and that is about teaching them design thinking and teaching them how to understand problems better. Right? Anybody else?
I think, I think what I want to say is similar to what Dash has already said, but I think what you guys should do is not validate a solution, but validate your problems to see whether it's real. And also not just force a solution upon someone. Try to walk through a user journey. Imagine you were in their shoes, how they interact with the product, right? I think that's something critical for you guys to just try doing so that you can actually understand the problem and see whether you're causing it or not.
Yeah, I think end of the day, just probably because we come from the other side of that, so I look more towards people implementing the ideas, right? So I think end of the day, you can put a lot of thoughts into ideas, and nothing beats a simple execution. I am a firm believer in the lean startup, where you can build something simple to test your hypothesis, right? And sometimes people overthink that solution. We have one particular company that we built, which was the Volley.com. Anybody have heard of them before? They actually just started with a simple Google Doc and landing page. That's it. Don't tell me anybody here can't build that, right? Everybody can build something like that. So try to put something, try to frame something simple based on your idea and go out and test it. Right? Do that as often as possible. Because sometimes ideas are just a dime in a dozen. You know, anybody and everybody can think of an idea, and nobody here can tell you whether that idea is good or bad. We can give you our opinions, but at the end of the day, right, nobody is the authority on good ideas. I can tell you this and that about this particular idea, and at the end of the day, I can be as wrong as you are. Right? So nothing beats testing out that idea in the real world. Because again, surveys only work to a certain extent. There's this saying, I think a bit famous by Henry Ford, right? If I had asked my customer what they wanted, now everybody knows Henry Ford, right? Everybody would have said they wanted a faster horse. You know, get it? So that's the problem with asking people that can't frame their thinking into what you're trying to build, especially if it's something new and nobody has seen it before. See? So my advice is, find a simple way, test out your ideas out there in the real world. Right? U.S.
First of all, I want to thank Youth Entrepreneur Society because I think that, and I come from a really different generation, probably close to the dash, that we never had such entrepreneurial societies in universities before. So, it's great that you guys have this platform, and thank you all for organizing all these things. I probably want to, re-emphasize the idea of it's more about thinking. Entrepreneurship is not about starting a company, getting it sold, or all the things. It's primarily about thinking about a problem in a certain way and coming up with adequate solutions. And I think two things which I think are very important is asking the right questions. So some of you did lots of surveys and stuff like that, but sometimes it's not the surveys that give you the information. As Sean said, you have to talk to people because sometimes in just qualitative interviewing, you actually get the insights about what drives, what's behind the problem. And then you can come up with an appropriate solution. And when you do come up with those insights and you do propose a solution, I think you should also then be critical of yourself. I mean, ask yourself, is this something that's a nice to have, or is this really a need for somebody to have this? If you find that you can answer yes to that, it's a need, then you have something going, right? And then use what Shah said, just iterate, just build something simple and then go from there. But great work, I think. I mean, some of you can see you put in a lot of work, and I think, kudos to you guys. So, well done. All right?
Thank you, Mr. Andrew. So any of you wants to elaborate more on your ideas? But this won't be calculated, it's just that express more, like you didn't express enough, come and see. Anyone? Okay, alright. Okay, so I'll be announcing the finalists for the second session later. Drum roll, please. So the groups who are going to enter the final pitching session will be group 6. The next group is group 1. And the third group is group 7. So congratulations to these 2 groups. So may I have the ushers to bring the judges to the cafeteria for lunch first?
engagement team 那种 Hello Edward 专业讲的哇哦没大家酷台哦 the one the shirt
Are all the classes with their own groups?
Okay 他是北京啊
Can I have attention? Are the FASCIs with your own groups? Okay, so FASCIs bring your groups to the cafeteria one by one, like one group by one group. Okay. Our next session will be around 1:45. Okay? Thank you.